guys are working on e-bikes, you got to remove the battery and discharge the system. That way you're not shocked. Trust me, you don't want to end up like I was. Some basic wire cutters, cut some zip ties, 2.5, 3, 4, and 5 Allen. You might need a little longer Allen to get up underneath the seat. And you'll also need a 5/16 wrench to get the old controller off. Up underneath the bike, you're gonna have a number 5 Allen in the front right here. You're gonna have 2 all the way up, and then you're gonna have 1 in the back. Once you have the seat off, you're just gonna cut the zip tie and unscrew the motor connector here, and that's gonna be fed up through this tube. Now there is another wire in this tube for your pedal sensor, so just make sure that doesn't fall out of the top here, or else you're gonna have to feed that through. Now after that, you're gonna use a number 4. Just remove these 4 bolts here, disconnect everything, and remove the controller. This is a stock controller out of the Zooz UF1200, the latest generation. Now we do have a current rating of 12 amps with a max of 30 amps. Just so if you guys are wondering what the stock controller does. So maybe not as fast on the top end, but it does definitely have a lot more low to mid-end torque. If you want the bike to feel super fast off the line, give you that low-end torque to get you up to speed, this controller is for you. Now, what this controller does that the stock controller can't do is it will triple the power if you need it. Some comparison, the stock controller can only go up to 30 amps. Wow, right? Now, the Bac855 can go to 90 amps and peak at 120 without shutting off. Now, that gives you the ability to put a 72 volt on here, a bigger 60 volt on here, start ramping up that power. Now, when you do that, you have to make sure the connector from the motor can handle that output. A lot of people forget about that. You need to make sure everything from the motor to the controller, from the controller to the battery can handle the power that you're trying to push. All right, now talking about limits, this is what I found. The stock battery on the 1200, 60 amps before it starts to shut off. Now, what I mean by shutting off is the BMS inside the battery will actually trip. You'll have to physically unplug the battery and plug it back in to discharge the system and reset the battery. It's no big deal, but these batteries with the stock controller, 30 amps, right? So they're giving you about 30 more amps of headroom, and that's for longevity, to keep the battery at a safe temperature, and obviously for warranty purposes. So with anything, they don't want to max out their product, and you always want to give yourself a little bit of headroom. So what speed can I run? What amperage should I run? What can I do on the stock bike? All right. So I was maxing out at 60 amps.
That may seem like a good idea, but it's not.
Which is around 3,200 watts at this current voltage. I would run it between 28 and 3 if you're on flat ground. 2,500 watts just to be safe. Now to give you an idea, 30 amps is around 1,500 watts. So you're getting another 1,000 watts out of this bike safely. Now if you're like me and want to push it to the limits, you can start pushing it to the limits, but you have to make sure you're not snapping the throttle off the line. You can go into throttle tuning. You can adjust the curve. There's plenty of tunes out there right now that we're working on with this bike. So those are the levels that I would run. Now, field weakening, 25% is going to give you around 37, 38 miles an hour. Now that's at perfect conditions, guys. If you want to go faster on this bike than that, you have to get a bigger battery. Voltage equals speed. So you want the controller, right? Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Go to handlworks.com. You're gonna find your bike that you want, put it in a cart, make sure it's available first, obviously, and then put code MTM. All right, so that's gonna save you a little bit off. It's gonna help you out, it's gonna help me out. If you guys have any questions, this company is amazing to work with. They always have answers to all your questions. They're always eager to help. They're always working behind the scenes for you all. So Kilowatt, great app. Shout out to Derek. He's the man. That is an amazing app with the BAC controllers. That gives you the ability to tune this bike how you want it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. And remember, guys, if you need any help with your bikes or installation, hit me up, give me a call. Happy to help out. I'll see you mechanics on the next one.